Ladies and gentlemen, the 911 call has been released for Rayshard Brooks. Let me go ahead and play the video.
This morning, for the first time, we are hearing the 911 call that brought officers face to face with 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks.
I have a car. I think he's intoxicated. He's in the middle of my drive-thru.
We're also learning more about the two Atlanta police officers who answered that call. Newly released police records show Officer Garrett Wolf, who was fired Saturday, received a written reprimand for firing his weapon in 2016. The second officer involved, Devin Brosnan, is now on administrative duty. Records show his only complaint was connected to Friday's shooting. Officers found Brooks asleep in his car in a Wendy's drive-thru Friday night. Investigators say he failed a sobriety test.
I think you've had too much to drink to be driving. Put your hands on your butt.
The calm interaction escalating when officers tried to arrest him.
Stop fighting. You're going to get tased. You're going to get tased.
Investigators say he grabbed one of the officer's tasers and ran. This video shows him turning and appearing to aim the taser at the officers before he is shot twice in the back.
He was always happy. He was always smiling. And you'd have to kill him.
Monday, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms furious, ordering changes to the Atlanta Police Department's use of force policy.
It pissed me off. It makes me sad, and I'm frustrated. And nothing I can do is going to change what happened on Friday.
It comes as protesters at Georgia's state capitol demanded the officers face charges.
That could have been me.
The district attorney plans to announce his decision this week.
So basically for you, it comes down to the question of, was Mr. Brooks in a position to cause harm to officers?
That's correct. And it has to be imminent bodily harm. Imminent bodily harm or death at the time of the shooting.
The leader of the union representing the officers says the process is being unfairly rushed.
I think a lot of it's convenient. I think a lot of this is political.
Brooks' widow, Tamika Miller, is calling for arrest, but says that is not enough.
There's no justice that can ever make me feel happy about what's been done.
And the DA tells me that part of their investigation is determining whether shots were fired from one or both officers' guns that night. Meanwhile, as Rayshard Brooks' family begins to prepare for his funeral, we've learned that Tyler Perry has agreed to cover those funeral costs.
All right, y'all. You know, this is so
under
sad.
pressure after weeks of protests.
This is so sad because we just keep seeing this stuff repeat over and over, you know, and it doesn't matter. I know all of you folks that like to come over talking about if you just cooperate. We've seen millions of videos of Black people cooperating and getting shot, so I don't want to hear nothing else from you. You have no leg to stand on. So this came out today. The 911 call before Rayshard Brooks was shot by the police. So, ladies and gentlemen, a Wendy's employee called 911 before the fatal police shooting of Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta, told the dispatcher that a customer who appeared to be intoxicated was asleep in his car in the restaurant drive-thru, according to, a recording of the call. I tried to wake him up, but he's parked dead in the middle of the drive-thru. So I don't know what's wrong with him, the caller said. He woke up, looked at me, and I was like, you got to move out of the drive-thru because people can't go around him. Okay, so he must have been in sort of an odd position. The employee tells the dispatcher in a call release Monday that they asked the man to pull aside and go to sleep. So they weren't really making him leave. They were just telling him just to pull aside, go in a parking spot or something, and you can continue to sleep. When 911 operators asked if the man had any weapons visible, the caller said, no, I think he's intoxicated. Brooks, a Black man, was killed Friday night in a parking lot of the Wendy's, which is now burnt down to the ground after 2 officers with the Atlanta Police Department responded to the 911 call. His death has been ruled a homicide, and the officer who shot Brooks, Garrett Rolfe, has been fired. The second officer, Devin Bronsnan, was placed on administrative leave, and Police Chief Erica Shields resigned from her post less than 24 hours after the shooting. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, which is investigating the shooting, said Saturday that Brooks failed a field sobriety test and struggled with officers as they tried to arrest him. During the course of the confrontation, Mr. Brooks was able to, all right, so you saw the struggle that happened and, partially of it in the video. So the incident was captured on video and shows Brooks appearing to run from officers with a stun gun in his hand. Reynolds said after running a short distance, Brooks appeared to turn around and point the stun gun at the officer, according to the director. At that point, the officer fatally shot Brooks. The shooting sparked protest in the city and was condemned by Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. This interaction with these officers was such almost an pleasant interaction. So it did. When you watch the beginning of the video, their interaction wasn't bad at all. It did not have to end this way. And that's what so frustrating, Bottoms said Tuesday on NBC Today. It leaves us asking so many questions because we do so many things in Atlanta that we thought to get it right. This went so terribly wrong. In police body and dash camera videos, Officer Rolfe and Brosnan are seen questioning Brooks for more than 25 minutes. And why was the questioning that long for somebody that was intoxicated? They really drew this thing out. It should not have lasted no 25 minutes of a conversation. Okay, Brooks told the police officer that he visited his mother's gravesite earlier in the day and went out drinking with a friend who dropped him off at Wendy's because he was hungry. Brooks said he planned to reignite with his friend at a hotel. During the questioning, Brooks struggled to remember how many drinks he had. At one point, he asked if he can walk home. I just don't want to be in violation of anybody, Brooks said, adding, "Let me go, I'm ready to go," which they really should have done after questioning him. And it should not have been no 25 minutes of questioning somebody that was intoxicated. Either you're going to let them go or arrest them. It should not have been no shooting at all. Okay. Bottom said Brooks' death was personal because that could have been any of us. That could be any of our kids or brothers. In this case, it was somebody's father, she said on Today's. Neither Rolfe nor Brunson has been charged. So that's where it stands. So apparently, Wendy's did try to get him to park and just sleep off, over on the side and not block the drive-through. So he probably did not respond because he was just so intoxicated. When they approached the car, he really wasn't responding that much. That's what it seems like to me. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.